Alrighty, so today we're talking wattle sap. We've mentioned the wattle trees, so the Australian acacia, in a number of videos. A few more details. There are a few types of wattles, but their main class is the green-leafed and the blue-leafed wattles. So the green-leafed ones, they produce edible sap and they produce edible seeds. They also very commonly have witchetty grubs inside them, so they're a good source of protein as well. Now, the blue-leafed wattles, they contain cyanide, and they were used traditionally as a defensive plant when one tribe would try and invade another. Those trees would be put on the fire at night time, and the smoke would cause the people to wake up in just the worst headache and throwing up all over the place. Now, what I'm interested in today is this beautiful sap. Now, this is fresh sap, and you can see that's still oozing out right at the top there. Just zoom on into that. So this stuff right here, you can see that's still oozing right there. So that is very fresh. Now, when sap is fresh like this, see all that stickiness? Beautiful. Awesome stuff. Now, this is what amber is made of, okay? And you'll oftentimes find little insects get trapped in here. This is also edible and delicious, and you can use this in equal parts water to make a jelly. Very nice stuff. You can also use this stuff to make an epoxy by mixing that with charcoal dust. And that will be used to hold your stone axe heads to your wooden casuarina, usually, is the wood used for the handles. So I'm going to gather a whole bunch of this up. And for that purpose, I've brought my trusty little coconut bowl. It gets very hard to take off sometimes, so you can use sticks. And when it's still fresh like this, I like to just leave it sealed so that the tree can heal its wound. What you can do also is, if one tree is unable to produce enough to heal its wound, you can get some excess from another tree. And that is actually going to be so delicious. And you can rub that on the wound. So that's a protective thing you can do for trees too. So sweet and delicious. That's so good. Now, over here, we have another piece that's hardened. And as they harden, they can tend to go a bit more of this colour like this. A little bit more amber in colour. These can go very dark indeed. And they'll often have bits of bark stuck in them. You can purify them if you wish. Little one higher up the tree as well. Now, you can get very large quantities of this stuff, and it'll usually happen when the tree's about to die. So we go to the canopy, and it's very sparse up here. Very sparse indeed. And we, in fact, look at the surrounding area, and we can see that there's a lot of wattle trees that are quite dead here. And there's a lot of lantana in the base. Now, this would suggest that this area is prime for a controlled burn. Now, the reason being, when there's so many dead wattle trees around the place, and there's so much lantana undergrowth, nothing can really move through, so the animals can't really get through to graze, and there's not enough grass. You may also hear there's a lot of bellbirds. When there's an excess of bellbirds, that's also a sign that a forest needs to be burnt. And the reason there's so many bellbirds is because there's so much lantana. Because the bellbirds nest inside of it. They can flit around through all the little gaps. So the wattle trees, with all of their dead branches up here, because they only live for about 10 to 20 years, they would have set a lot of seed, and all that seed needs fire in order to germinate. It might be worth me talking to the local fire brigade to do a bit of a controlled burn through this area. And then what you'll find in the years afterwards is a lot of wattles will come back up. Listen to those bellbirds. Whoa, they are right close too. So I was just digging around at the base of the wattle tree here, hoping to find myself a delicious little witchetty grub. Now, I haven't found myself a witchetty grub, but what I have found is a casing of a witchetty grub. Now, this little hole I've just uncovered is probably where these witchetty grubs would have emerged out of. And here is the casing left behind. So if I give it a gentle pull, I should be able to get him out, but I might have to dig around him. Nevertheless, this is one that was laying around. And as you can see, this is where its folded wings were at the top here. A little section right there, you can see the folded wing line. Now, this is actually a medicine. So this contains about 50% protein, and you can use that as a protein supplement. Another thing about this is you can actually add a little bit of water to this and it'll soften up really quite smooth, and then you can use that for skin conditions like psoriasis and cirrhosis, I think is the, or eczema, I think is the term. So I'm going to be very careful here and try and dig up around the outside of this. A little bit of extra digging has brought us to a very interesting structure. This little thing around here. Now I'll give that a wiggle. Let's see if I can pull this whole section out. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle. And I get further down as I do it, as I pull more up. So this is fascinating. As the witchetty moth comes out, it builds this little structure. This little tunnel. And then it emerges out of that. Sometimes the tunnel will be about that far above the ground maybe. You know, quite high above the ground. But other times it may be buried like this one was. Very interesting indeed. Now, spiders, like the funnel web and trapdoor spiders, they're not particularly good at digging. But what they are good at is finding holes in the ground. And as you might have concluded, as a witchetty moth emerges, and it's not always right at the base, it could be a very long distance away, it could be 1 meter, 2 meters away, coming up through the root system. They leave a big hole, and they no longer need that hole, so the spider takes up residence in that space. So the witchetty grub creates the hole and the home where the spider lives. So if you don't like spiders, then you might like eating witchetty grubs. Anyway, I'll leave it there. Have a nice day.